Hello everybody, this is Alex from Hardcore Guides, bringing my guide for Uncharted Drake's Fortune on Crushing Difficulty. Today we're doing Chapter 12 entitled Heading Upriver. This one's just pretty straightforward as well, just kind of like the last chapter, except a little less deadlier than the last chapter. And somewhat a lot easier if you not only just know where the enemy are going to be at, but at the same time, you know, using the cover. The only really difficult part I'd say about this chapter is the whole, you know, the river just pushing you back every single time, like having to fight and struggle to, well, fight not only the enemies but the barrels and the enemies at the same time is just kind of a little annoying, but not impossible, of course. And I think, I could be wrong, don't quote me on this, but I think that there's a possibility that you might have a little bit more armor when you're on vehicles. I don't know, because it always feels like I take way more hits from enemy fire than I ever would from just not being on a vehicle at all, so I'm not really sure. But I think we tested that out before with the Jeep section, and that was just, you know, what it is. So, also, I do a lot of shoulder swap things just to kind of make my, well, the usual, like, you know, make my shots a little bit more accurate, and plus just using cover, because it seems like this is the type of game that if the enemy, or if you are using a shoulder swap behind cover, then the game just considers you behind cover at that point. So we got two guys up here. You can use the rock to the left here to kind of hide behind if you want to inch your way up. Sometimes there are parts where you can, and as you can see, I'm doing it right here. I'm pretty much just taking out the next two guys, hiding behind this wall right here to keep myself out of sight and make sure I pick them off, preferably from a distance too, because that's another thing. I'm pretty sure that they're a lot less accurate, and luckily for us, we are able to have a pretty damn good clear shot on these guys. So just blow up a couple barrels that the enemies are standing in front of. There is going to be, I think, a couple more guys to the left, and there's going to be no explosive barrels on them, so you're going to take them out with just normal gunfire. Once again, just nothing too hard. Just spam it, mash it, you know, all that. Just get rid of the guys. So luckily, I didn't die in this one, and at least the one I recorded, I didn't die once. So this is just entirely just a complete one-run thing. However, I did have to play the level beforehand to record them. That's what I'm going to start doing from now on, is just play them first, and then just have the chapter select already. So I can just go back and re-chapter select and, well, pretty much pistol start for me. Because it doesn't really bother me either way. As long as I have a gun to shoot somebody, it doesn't really matter to much extent. Also, the barrels are scripted for the most part, so they will always typically be going down the same place, just taking the same route. So you don't have to worry about that one too much. Thank goodness. And then we have, I think, one more wave of enemies to go, and this next wave is kind of annoying. That right there, I call bullshit, because there's no way for me to see him, because he's not up there, right? Oh, he is near that area I'm shooting at, but he's not up there. He's, like, on the ground floor instead. So I had to be a little bit more mindful about getting through here, but luckily his dumb ass decided to shoot once and lose out of his shot. And then I completely fudged this up and didn't realize that he wasn't dead yet. So this area is mainly going to be the area where it's going to be probably the hardest section of it, where you do kind of have to push yourself against everything. There should be no infinite spawning barrels, so you shouldn't have to worry too much about that. Just, you know, if they come near you, just blow them up or whatever. And then take out these couple guys. There's going to be a couple guys to the left here, just kind of inch your way up. They're not up there, but they're like in the same building pretty much. Like right above me. That's another thing too, is like trying to find enemies is really annoying unless you just dead on just know exactly where they're at. Or if you're just like me and you just take a couple pop shots and you're like, oh, okay, that's where you're at. And then that guy can just be easily headshot because you're hiding behind cover, and there you go. And I think that should be, yeah, that should be freedom from here, because all you gotta do now is just get up this little ramp and then, you know, park your boat, and that's pretty much it. So you're pretty much free to go. Next up is Chapter 13, so we're finally getting there. I think we're about half-ish way through the game by now. So, yep, with that being said, hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you next time for some more Uncharted Drake's Fortune. And as always, take care, everybody.
Let's head up to the monastery and see what's going on.